Mamu ina akwaba e de banka setive native nani nkonkohwe eye NPP amanyokonim native for say na beka ya ebra ssnc na nado danko ekufado ewo power mu no ode nsem bi tu asentine anya why say eye NPP amanyokom betumi enya two leaders ewo party ni at the same time esa na confusion pa na betumi esi wo party ni ana fisi ne nyama hyeda entutu yi ewo party ni to ode eye NPP mo primaries no ehye 2013 Sęcretly for betumi abwana ne governance no betumi afefe. Ampala so aye NPP amanikundo mo primaries no hye 2013 ama bibia akoye kama. Enso sem no mo kase de tifo eja eda aye NDC amanikundo papa a enya asem ketwa. And it's all because of aye NDC flag bearership bekoso. Netifo aye Johnson Esedu ketia honorable atofo semu ina so sapese anka so sombe aye mampanin. Now, interesting, Lordina Mahama at the ticket and I say the vote at the Akoma, Øver, Eric Opuku, honor the current agric minister, so tiny Chinoma, honor so Sambe Mampeni. And I say, John Dramani Mahama, so send the vote Akoma, Øver, Honorable John Mahama-Jinapor, on a Dr. Kisu at forcing. And a tip for a Chairman Johnson Esedu so Sanam baby, and also Ebwas, and also Sabe Mampeni. Na so Ghana for bina hwese na NDC amanukun se na nyama esi ekom na muchi no sentin confusion pa na aba adenti na if say we are in the second year of Sęcretly John Dramani Mahama next no enkofo bi no party no apese no ba leaders na flag bearers our party me basa na mutumi concentrate solely on Sęcretly John Dramani Mahama and the administration. Na yes we pino kuku team sama leaders ne party members see kana omodi tuda.
Great of John Dramani Mahama, our good friend John Jinapor, Member of Parliament and Minister for Energy. The two ways that the NDC would like to say they've been doing well in government so far, one of them will be energy and the other will be finance. In finance, there's disputed opinion about recently the government didn't get a threshold on the treasury bill, local treasury bill market, and some opponents of the government were saying there's an indication that there's no confidence, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you say, Atu Forsen will tell you that the CD was 17, it is 10, it's a feather in his cap. Atu Forsen will tell you that gold reserves have gone here, it's a feather in his cap. Atu Forsen will tell you that petroleum prices have been stabilized, it's a feather in his cap. Don't ask him about the price of kenke. Don't ask him about the price of bread. Don't ask him about the price of biscuits. He doesn't know. But he has major macro indicators to point out to you that he's done well. And the analyzing institutions, Fitch and all of these people are giving Ghana B+ and all of that. So yes, Atu Forsen is firmly focused on becoming the leader of the NDC, the presidential candidate of the NDC going forward to the 2028 election. And his running mate is John Abdullahi Jinapor. He's a Christian from Gonja. He's a member of parliament, minister for energy, former deputy minister for energy, now minister for energy, former spokesperson of Vice President John Dramani Mahama. So you know they have an excellent and very close relationship. They call him JJ in parliament, and he's the deal. The two of them are the president's ticket. Forget about everything else. This is the president's ticket. Atu Forsen number 1 and John Jinapor number 2. Let's roll on to some of the other new tickets that are coming into the NDC conversation. What's next for us? Let's move on to the next one. No, I know this one. This one people know. Let's move to the next one. I'll come back to this in a minute. Now, I'll still come back to this in a minute. The other one. Yes. This is the other one. So there's a growing conversation among NDC cadres. I don't know where the cadres still stand in the NDC conversation. 25 years ago, the cadres were very strong. But over the last 10 years, I don't know where the cadre thing goes. I mean, many of the cadres have sort of stepped aside. Martin Amido is a bit old now. He's in his house and he's one of the important cadres. He's not as active as he used to be. But the cadre group who want to resurrect the cadre situation because they believe that the cadre thing is anti-corruption, the cadre thing is a wee-wee situation, the cadre thing is proper socialism, almost communism, and that's the only way the NDC can keep its difference from the MPP. The cadre group are still very concerned that the NDC looks too much like the MPP, and Rawlings used to talk about that if you remember, that the NDC is looking too much like the MPP, that the MPP are a right-wing political party, let them look like how they look like, and the NDC must look very different. NDC should not have the kind of scandals MPP have. If MPP are sharing money somewhere, you shouldn't find NDC people doing the same thing. That group of people who believe that the longevity of the NDC will be preserved by returning to the principles of CADA, probity, accountability, transparency. That group of people are beginning the conversation, what about Goosie Tandoh? So, now I work for Goosie Tandoh. I was his publicist in the year 2000 when he did the Reform Party. So I was with him almost on a daily basis, and I was the publicist. What does that mean? So I published their stories. You know, they were a small political party. So I had to take permission from my news editor at Joy FM that I would like to be bringing reform stories. They laughed at me and they said, okay, why not? And so Goosie had two offices, one in Asylum Down. Those of you who live in Accra, I can show you the place near Gedeli's office. And there was another one in Ridge, North Ridge, where WellSpace used to be. His brother was MD of WellSpace at the time, so we meet there. And the sheer level of intellectual conversation of these guys, I mean, if you're young as I was at that time, you should consider yourself privileged to be in that kind of conversation. You should hear Goosie having a conversation about governance with Peter Podugbe. And oh my goodness, these guys were smart. I was so excited when I met with them and when I engaged with them, and I was excited about the future of the country. Cheche Opoku is one brilliant guy. Forget about law. Cheche knows everything, not just law. Mijay Bano, I mean, they were really, really solid guys. Sam Garba was with them. I think the generation is gone. The election 2000 didn't help them. Professor Mills brought them back to the NDC. They played a big role in Professor Mills' victory, and I believe that they have played a big role in President Mahama's victory in 2016 as well. Goosie has to overcome the 24-hour economy situation. We must see the 24-hour economy thrive. I'm not sure whether we're going to see that in the first 4 years of President Mahama's administration. I was listening to Nimoy Thompson on Bernard Avle's show, The Point of View, and he was talking about how 24-hour economy is already captured in the NDPC agenda, etc., etc. Very, very, very interesting interview. I like that interview when I saw it on Monday night, I think. Now, Goosie here is now being pushed to be the NDC flag bearer. And the NDC people are being told that if you really want to go back to be NDC so that you're not like MPP and you're going to be booted out of office one day like the MPP was booted out of office, and you want to continue to do the things MPP did so that you end up the way MPP ended up, then it's up to you. But if you want to come to the principles and the ethos of the National Democratic Congress, your best man is Augustus Tandoh. So that's a confident. Mahama is not against the ticket, but it is not his favorite ticket. His favorite ticket will show you what it is. So the Goosie one is coming. We're just building up the story. We'll be giving you the inside details. They call me to tell me, you know, Adam, you there? Then they give me the filler. So, okay. Now, this is the other ticket that we talked about. The Julius Debra ticket has always been there. It's always been there. And it's a formidable ticket. Now, the tickets are gaining support by naming running mates. So if I go back here, you will see that the president's ticket has a running mate already sorted. So it is easier to sell to the party folks when you are saying, this is going as number one, this is his number two. It makes people feel that, oh yeah, that's a good ticket. We like it. It's great. It's, you know, I think that, I don't know whether it's good or bad, but over the last few years of our election cycles, the position of the running mate has become very important. It didn't used to be as important. I mean, in 2000, people have forgotten who was Professor Mills' running mate. It was Martin Amidu. In 2004, people have forgotten who was Professor Mills' running mate. It was Mohammed Mumuni. So the running mate thing was not a big deal. It was the Nana Akufo-Addo choice of Mahamadou Bawumia that brought the running mate thing to the big conversation. If you read our book here, the way in which Kufuor chose his running mate, Alhaji Aliyu Mahama, it was very simple. It was a very simple conversation. Aliyu was set up as a committee chairman to find a running mate for Kufuor. Find, he couldn't find. General Hamidu got his running mate agenda busted on Joy FM by Tony Edu, whose video we showed you recently, and I think I'll get that video for you soon. And so when Hamidu left, Aliyu Mahama was left with a few weeks to get a running mate, you know. And then Kufuor said, what about you, Alhaji? Blah, blah, blah. And then he became. So the running mate was not that detailed, but now it has become very, very important on our tickets. We're almost becoming like the United States. You know, Walter Mondale, how Walter Mondale became running mates to, was it George Bush? It was a very complicated, long, drawn-out conversation in the American Republican Party politics over there. So people are now putting the running mate forward so that you can get a sense of where the ticket is going. So that's the president tickets. Now here, so the Julius Debra people are beginning to craft a running mate for Wafa Julius. And guess what they are talking about? They are talking about Senator Rawlings. Very